Hello henna lovers, in today's video I'm going to teach you how to draw simple belts, and at the end of the video I'm also going to share a henna hack with you. So keep watching. Let's begin.
So for our belt, for the first belt, I'm going to draw a straight line. And then I'll be drawing another parallel line in front of it. Just extend these lines a little more. How to draw these lines, I have shown that in my very first tutorial. I would recommend you to go and check out my first tutorial for that. So now I'm going to draw the bump line. Here I'm using number 1 bump line. I have also explained how to draw these bumps, how to connect them to each other into my previous tutorial. So please check my previous tutorial if this is the first one that you are watching. There we go. So next I would be drawing a bigger bumps. These are similar to bumps, they also call it squares, but I find them similar to the bumps. So with the same technique that we use for drawing the bump line, we are going to draw these larger bumps and creating a belt. Now here you can give it a variation by drawing a solid line on top of it, and then just draw another solid line, a thin line, a parallel line on top of the solid line, and that would give it a different look. So this is our number 1 simple belt. Now let's draw number 2. So for that as well, I am quickly drawing 2 parallel lines over here, or maybe I would like to make it a little thicker just to revise those previous topics or the points that I had covered in my previous tutorial. I'm just repeating these techniques over here. There we go. Then we would be drawing number 1 bump line here. Why I am including these bump lines, or why I have made this third tutorial on the simple belt, is because I wanted to make it relevant to the first 2 tutorials where I have taught you how to draw the lines with 2 different techniques, and how to draw solid line, and how to draw the different types of bumps and swirls, and likewise. So if you have watched those tutorials, you would definitely be able to relate with this one. So here I'm drawing a circle or the swirl, and another bump line around it, one more swirl, and a bump line, we are going to repeat these swirls and those bump lines around it likewise. If you're not able to draw these bumps in a continuity, that's perfectly fine. Just have to make sure that you are connecting your next bump. I'll show you in here, in this one. As I have, see, suppose you're drawing like this, and if you stop, if your finger is hurting, or if you are not sure if if your pressure is under control or anything, then you stop and then you begin again, making sure that you're connecting the next bump to the previous one, and then keep on continuing. You stop here, that's okay, resume back to the previous one, and then just draw. So all you have to make sure is that you're keeping the size of the bumps uniform. That's all you need to make sure. Now let's move on to the third bump. Oh, sorry, the third belt. So here, if you see, I'm just revising the techniques that I have taught you in the first tutorial, first and the second one, about drawing a solid line. Now again, I'm drawing a number 1 bump line over here. Uniformity is something that's very crucial in henna design. So whichever element you draw, make sure the proportion or the size of each element is similar, it's matching to like one another. You cannot draw one element this small and then another one a little too big than this one, or too small than that one. So that would give it a messy look. So it's really important to understand the size and shape and the ratio of all those elements with each other. It's really important to understand. Now I'm just drawing the strokes here. How to draw these strokes, again I have mentioned all that in my previous tutorial, so I would highly recommend you all to please go and check my previous tutorials. If you are a beginner, if you really want to learn this henna art from the scratch, then it's really important to invest a couple of minutes from your life into watching those tutorial videos, because those are the fundamentals from where we have begun, and slowly we will be moving forward towards constructing a nice design. So definitely give it a look. So this is our third belt here. Now is the time for our henna hack. So as we discussed earlier about the belts are usually drawn either on the wrist or on the arm. So let's talk about the wrist belt, because we are considering, as this video tutorial is for the beginners, we are talking about the wrist. So when you draw a belt or you want to draw a belt on the wrist, never make a mistake of drawing two big parallel lines or two distant parallel lines to each other and then try to fill up the gap with the elements. Never do that mistake. Why? Because being a beginner, you may not be able to judge the distance correctly, and then you may tend to squish the elements on top of each other, and then your belt eventually would look as a disaster, maybe I can say. So always follow these steps. Always begin with the drawing the first line, the very first line, the top line that you would want to draw for a belt. That is your step number 1. Let's draw here the step number 1. Then step number 2 is to draw another parallel line closer to that. If you want to make this line thicker, then you can always do that. So if you want to do that, this is the point when you decide it, okay? Now if you want to draw another parallel line, then that's the step number 2 or 3 we can say, because this was the making it thicker was the second step. Then draw the bump line, that is the step number 3, and then draw the element, that is the step number 4, and then finish it off with maybe another straight line, whatever you want to do next. The variations are unlimited. Or if instead of the line, if you want to give it a frill, then you may want to draw this frill pattern likewise. So I have just drawn a messy design here, please forgive me for that. But all I wanted to show you is that do not make a mistake of beginning with this pattern or these 2 lines, distant lines. Always go step by step.
So friends, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share it with your friends. And hey, don't forget to click on the bell icon to get the notification of my next henna tutorial video. Till then, keep hennaing. See you soon.